And we're live.
Hey everybody,
Hey.
good to see you again,
Yeah.
metaphorically in our case.
And literally with the cameras that we have in your homes.
So, it's another day, another, what was that?
What?
Huh?
Today is another day. That is true. Verified.
And yeah, we got another broadcast for you. We thought that call with James Harder yesterday went so well, we'd do another little Bathrobe Buddy check-in. That's what we're calling these now. We're calling them the Bathrobe Buddy series.
The Bathrobe Buddy Chronicles.
The Bathrobe Buddy series.
The Bathrobe
part of
Buddy. The bundle of Bathrobe Buddy bonanzas.
I'm Graham.
I'm Ashkan.
Yep. We are calling Matt Smith from Modern Gravity. And
Up in Canada.
Yep. Yeah. Canadian.
Technology these days.
So expect a very friendly, very polite phone call. And yeah, let's see if we can get him on the line.
All right. Let's do this thing. And
You didn't pre-dial or like
Pre-dial the number.
pre-enter the number. Oh, that's the sound of working functionality. It's the sound of functionality.
Hey, it's Matt. Sorry I missed your phone call, but feel free to leave your name, number, and some details, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You're also welcome to shoot me a quick text message, as I tend to get to those a little bit quicker.
Maybe I should
But
send you a
outside
text
of that,
message.
I'll talk to you soon.
After leaving a message, you can hang up or press pound for more options.
Matt, you're making us look
hey,
like
man.
fools here.
Yeah, just live streaming. Oh, he's calling.
Yeah,
He's
nice.
calling.
He's calling.
He's
Good,
calling.
good, good. Hey, buddy. Matt? Hold
Matt.
Yo,
Yo. All right.
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Welcome.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. You got a phone. You got to realize in Canada here, you need to let the phone ring about like 20, 30 times just to be quiet.
Yeah, the cold airwaves. The ring doesn't go as fast. I understand.
Not nearly as fast. No, that's how that works.
You've got a very professional sounding voicemail there. It's very,
Well, thank you.
very to the point.
Thank you. Did you say professional voice?
Voicemail. Voicemail.
Voicemail. I actually didn't think I had one set up, so that's awesome to know.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
fun
really
fact,
great.
my voicemail is not set up. I got a new phone years ago and it deleted my voicemail. And I
Yeah.
realized that without it, people couldn't leave me messages.
Yeah, it's great. Instead, they call me and ask me if Graham's number is correct because they got confused when they hit a voicemail that was not set up.
Perfect. Like, this is a perfect system.
It's a really good system. Yeah.
This is talking about ways to improve your float tank center. This is a way to improve your life. Just ditch that whole voicemail concept.
There's the biggest tip I just took through from today. I'm going to remove my voicemail. Or
Awesome.
just have it directly forwarded to say, if you need to get in touch with me, please phone JP at...
It's basically what happens.
Yeah, how are you guys doing up there? How are you and JP holding up?
We're doing good, man. I mean, have you heard of this coronavirus thing?
No, tell us more.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's of course like a super wild time.
It's an official word from the CDC.
Yeah, totally wild
Super
time,
wild.
Yeah. That's like legitimately how I've been talking to customers, like just getting on the phone with them. And then just being like, hey, yeah, so this is pretty crazy, pretty wild. And people are like, yeah, I guess so. But he and I, we've been pretty good. I'm wishing that we still live together like you guys live together. I kind of have some bro jealousy going on.
Yeah, classic mistake.
But yeah, we have to keep the whole social distancing thing happening. But yeah, it's been good, man.
Why are you calling your customers?
And what are you calling them?
I know. I was debating just completely going dark and just like disappearing. And just don't answer emails or calls or anything. Well, it first started off like we sent out like an email just letting everybody know what was going on. And then we had we put a little video attached to it as well, which, funny enough, it was just like, we usually pride ourselves on having like upbeat content or upbeat video, but it was not upbeat at all. We're kind of like, yeah, this sucks, guys, get closed down. This was a pretty wild time, but you know, let's get through this together. So we got quite a bit of emails back to us, which was probably the most surprising thing out of them, was the amount of members that were actually saying they would like to continue floating with us.
That's cool.
Or not, hopefully, but wanting to keep their memberships going.
Nice.
So what we ended up doing is, after like a full like 4, 5, 6 days of just tons of emails with people coming back, and it was majority positive. Of course, a lot of people had to cancel their memberships or put them on pause, but we also had a bunch that just kept things going. So what I did is I just said, you know what, I'm just going to phone all of our members and even just a few key customers who we haven't talked to in a while, just to check in with them, which ended up being way more work than I initially anticipated.
I know, it's like one of those little ideas where you're like, oh yeah, call members, like how hard could it be? And like 10 hours later, you're just like, oh my god.
Like the halfway mark, I was like, wow, this was, I'm glad that, I mean, funny enough, it's something that aligns very much with opening a float kind to begin with. Right? That would be such a cool idea.
Yeah. How hard could it be?
Room. This is legit, easy money. And then you do it, and you're like, had I known. But yeah, the beautiful part is just like, of course, you know, it was a lot of phone calls, but I'm so glad that we did that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that does sound like a nice touch.
Was was anyone like did you hit any like upset customers or people who were angry that you were closing? Is this like part of their care schedule, or was like pretty much everyone just supportive and really nice when you talked to them?
Pretty much everybody was supportive. Like, you had a few people who we got, like in regards to us having to close, like there's definitely some people who are like super sad that they supported what was going on and just like wishing us the best and can't wait till we open up again. I did have a few like phone calls when I phoned people that were kind of going through some pretty big rough patches where they used floating to kind of help mitigate that. And of course, with everything going on and getting laid off and things, it was just extra tough. So I think it was just nice to have a phone call, not even really about floating their memberships, but just seeing how they're actually doing. We had a few people who would like respond or like email us, because the way what strategy we took for memberships is we just sent out the email and video and said, hey, if you want to cancel your membership or put it on pause for now, just give us a call. We can absolutely do that. We've had some people who have been like members who've already reached out and said they want to keep supporting us, which is amazing, but some expectation. And so we've had some people who reached out because of that. But what we did is we've just kept things going normally for memberships unless we hear back from somebody. So we would get a few emails, and like especially in the last week, where people are getting charged, but they didn't get our initial email. And then they're like, hey, why are you charging us when you guys are closed? And then I just kind of respond back to them and said, like, sorry for catching you off guard. We sent a little email out earlier, and here's the drill, along with the idea of us matching floats and giving them to frontline workers when this is all over. And then like 9 out of 10 people respond back with, oh, snap, like I didn't know that's what was happening. Like, keep my membership going, that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
We found the same.
So far, everybody's been pretty supportive.
Yeah, same here. Like, everyone has been just really sweet. And I guess it's like one of the nice things about running like a business that fundamentally makes people more introspective and like thoughtful and compassionate is like our members are just some of the nicest people. Certainly some of like the nicest regular customers a business could ask for. So yeah, I mean, people have just been incredibly supportive. Like, we
really, like, unbelievable. Like, the fact that we have no idea how long this is going to go on, it's suspected to be like several months, and that we've still had just like such a few number of members actually want to suspend their payments or anything.
Like, probably 80% or more of our members have decided to
Isn't
stay
that
active.
crazy?
You know? Yeah. No, totally wild.
Yeah.
And just awesome. Yeah, again, it like is very kind of humbling and makes you feel good about your community that you're kind of building. And again, hopefully that it means that our tanks will actually be packed when we reopen, and there will be a bunch of accumulated floats and gifts going out. And we've definitely had a lot of members tell us that they plan on giving away a lot of the floats they're stockpiling just to other members of their family or people they know who could use a little stress relief after this. So,
and some of our members have just donated their floats directly to the pool that we're giving to the medical workers as well, which has been really cool.
Yeah, we had one person who one of the examples of somebody saying, "Hey, is there a reason we're getting charged?" And they just didn't get our first email, so then I let them know what we were doing, and they're like, "Oh, cool! Can you throw 10 floats on there? Like,
Yeah, nice.
Onto your account or whatever." It's like, no, like throw 10 floats into a pool, like buy a 10-pack and throw it to the pool. And just like the level of gratitude that just like made my heart explode was amazing.
Yeah, so cool.
It's
We had,
definitely
I remember do pretty much the exact same thing, like bought a 10-pack of floats and, so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is just like a crazy time right now in regards to, like, yes, there's the one stage, like initially when all this was going on, it's kind of like there's the one stage of, oh man, how do we kind of, survive this the best that we can? Obviously nobody's going to be, thriving through it, but how can we survive the next few months until we can open up again? But then the second stage of that, like you kind of already brought up in regards to capacity, is like, what about when we open the doors? Are we going to be just as busy? Are we going to be busier? Are we going to be half as busy? And then trying to plan all around that. And so definitely these last couple of weeks, which I thought were going to be like, they have been very emotional just because of the types of conversations we've been having, but then having a lot more confidence that people are really going to want to float, support us, support their family, friends, and everybody else in the community. So just like every day, even though we don't have any idea of like what's really going on, it is nice to know that there's a little bit of confidence actually creeping in there day after day.
Yeah.
What's the deal in Canada with I've been really focused on the US here with all the like financial loan, federal stimulus,
disaster relief loan,
all that
paycheck
sort of
protection
stuff.
program down here.
What's going on in Canada?
Totally.
Are there any like support systems from the government for small businesses that are being rolled out?
Yes, I think. So far, like the amount that's been happening in regards to like, obviously like all kind of like governments and countries are just like having to throw all this stuff in like last minute just to kind of find something to do the best way or support businesses and people the best way they can. So we're waiting. I think it's this week we can actually do an online application for a $40,000 line of credit, which starting January 1st, 2021, whatever you spend on that $40,000 line of credit will then get turned into a 5-year term loan in which you don't have to pay interest for the first, I think, 2 years, might be a year, but I think maybe first 2 years. And then you'll start getting, I think, 5% interest for the remaining 3 years, and then you can pay it all back at the very end. But if you pay it back within the first 48 months, or if you pay 75% of it back in the first 48 months, they'll actually forgive the remaining 10,000.
Nice.
As far as I know. That's
sure. No, it's all like a total
really
mess
all they
over
have
here
on the
too,
website.
Yeah, we had like applications
I'm kind of
open.
like, okay.
Open on Friday for one of our programs, like this big one, the Paycheck Protection Program, and immediately, like, only one of the major banks was actually ready to take applications. And by the time the weekend was done, a bunch of banks just said, like, we've been flooded with too many applications, we're done taking them. Like, so sometime between, like, Saturday morning and, like, Sunday evening for a lot of banks was just, like, when you had to get something in with a bank you had a pre-existing relationship with. So, yeah, it's a total mess. Like, who knows how this is going to all kind of unfold. But, yeah, that's it's at least good that they seem to be, trying to, make sure that small businesses can reopen when all of this is over.
Completely. I know it's going to be tough for, like, even some friends who have businesses, not in the float industry, but it's kind of like, it's still really tough even in taking on debt. But I think for a lot of float centers here in Canada, that will help quite a bit, like kind of where the range of money being loaned and the terms and everything associated with it. So I think you have to be able to do between $50,000 and $1 million with the payroll a year. So in many cases, I think for us, it's just like the perfect level of support. I know for larger companies, it might not be a whole lot, but it's really cool that government is stepping in some capacity to help out.
Yeah, it's kind of unfathomable, the amount of people that are being affected by this. Like, it's just really an insane thing.
It's a lot of people in bathrobes now.
Good for the bathrobe.
Yeah, I mean,
great for the bathrobe
The bathrobe
market.
industry is making a killing.
I was going to say, like, I'd 100% be lying if I said that I was wearing a bathrobe right now, and I'd be lying even more if I said that I was wearing pants.
Yeah, secret fact is we don't wear pants for any of these, actually.
Yeah, and we wear the really short bathrobes,
like,
too.
if
You
these
just
are not
can't tell
so
because...
I would have been disappointed.
That's excellent. So are you guys still like doing anything active on the business right now? You as long as you're closed, are you doing any big construction projects? Are you working on marketing, or got any like more nefarious kind of like under the table dealings, or what's going on over there?
Diamond heists.
Well, we always have under the table dealings going on. So unfortunately, that hasn't been too disrupted by all of it. It's just like a multiple, like JP's actually been gone for the last week or two for some kind of like personal stuff with his family. So we've been in touch, but we haven't really been able to sit down and say, hey, here's what the kind of strategy is going to go for doing our video work and things like that. But he's back this week, which is what we're going to start planning out the next few weeks and or months, depending what this is going to be like. And I mean, construction projects, like you always have construction projects that you can be doing. So we'll definitely be taking advantage of that. More just like light repairs and stuff like that. JP has already, I think, redone a lot of our pumps and piping and stuff like that in the previous 12 to 14 months. So it's more or less just doing some of the smaller like repairs on some walls that got little water damage, or trying to realign some of the doors or handles, or replacing some of the shampoo and body wash dispensers and stuff like that. But the part on marketing is been going kind of back and forth on, what's the best way of kind of going about it. Can you go and say, hey, this, like a lot of people are talking about how Facebook ads are a lot cheaper right now, and that, it's a perfect time to take advantage of it. But I also think that relative to how ready people are to be spending money and or interested in something further than a week or two out, especially with everything going on. And even though I think there's a lot to there's a lot to say about people are now starting to get individual and family support from the government. I think just this week you could sign up to get $2,000 a month for the next, I think, 4 periods, so 4 months, depending on how long this lasts. So I think as people feel a bit more supported and comfortable, that could be an option. But for us, I think taking advantage of lower Facebook ads to more or less brand ourselves, or just give value back to the community in regards to ways of helping reduce stress when you don't have a float tank, or just something completely separate from floating that you're just kind of reaching out to people because it's a little bit easier to have that reach. And then hoping that when things start to quote unquote get back to normal, or things settle down a little bit, that there'll be a little bit more people who have our company name in their ear.
Yeah, for sure. We've been playing around actually with kind of like one of those like double whammy type Facebook ads. You know what I'm talking about? The old double whammy. You got that up there in Canada?
Yeah, you click that button.
Yeah, the old double whammy button.
It's a setting from the panel.
No, so we've been doing like a lead-in just generally about floating ad, introducing people to the tanks and the concept of floating, and with some nice video visuals of said tanks. And then people who watch at least, 30 seconds of that or a minute of that kind of lead-in ad. We've been doing like a warm ad to try and get people to buy gift cards for when we open, with that whole, get one, give one with the medical workers that we're doing. And, we haven't like sold a ton. It's like, like the ads pull in maybe like 8 sales over the course of $100 or something like that. But, compared to what we're spending, it's great. And it should be targeting people who are just kind of finding out about floating as opposed to like our existing customers. Because we kind of have this lead-in ad going to like lookalike audiences and other people who hopefully aren't already our fans. So kind of the same thing that you were saying, just like the branding, and then we're just like for people who do engage with the brand, we're trying to also just push the fact we're still offering gift cards out there. But yeah, we've definitely been getting some sales from that and like a decent little return on ad spend. Pro tip.
Yeah, I was going to say that's actually
Bathrobe
pretty
tip
decent
there.
given the environment right now. It's pretty decent return on that $100 on top of the fact that, keeping that going for the next X amount of weeks or months or however this long lasts, you at least get to start to collect that group of people who watched a little bit of your video already, and then when things kind of change pace, they're already right there in front of you.
Yeah, that's kind of the.
And that's not even to mention our under the table dealings, which are
or the triple whammy,
We'll
which
leave
we don't
that
even
as
get
a whole
into.
different side project. We should just pool. We should all just collectively pool 5 to 8% of our under the table dealings into a larger pool to do something together. I do like diamond.
Some sort of organization of crime.
Yeah, maybe try to manipulate world dealings or gently guide the course of history.
With those under the table float center dealings.
We'll do even more nothing with it. Yeah.
Yeah. How
Cool.
you guys doing?
Well, let's see. Do we have any questions? I will open it up. We're on like a little delay for the live stream, so I'll just say right now, if anyone out there has any questions for Matt Smith, feel free to toss them out there, and we'll get to them before we wind this down. Someone says they didn't know that we knew Macklemore. I think they're talking about the picture that we have of you. Yeah, is that something that you?
My under the table dealings have been ruined.
Your true identity is out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anyway, do you have? Oh my God! I just pulled this up. Amazing.
Yeah, it's Powerful Ford has been doing our character acting for us. I think he does a pretty good job.
Oh man, I'm also glad that somehow you're able to keep my paleness to true form.
Yeah, and we dressed you in a robe here, so even though you're not in one, your character for the sake of this show is so.
In spirit.
Yeah,
In
exactly.
spirit I am.
And in kind of facsimile. Have you been so there's people who are like doing rock climbing across their fireplace kind of rocks and building giant life-size like Lego statues of me and Ashkan. Have you been
Lots of people.
Yeah, have you been doing any new fun projects as long as you're stuck at home a little bit more?
Specifically related to idolizing us?
Or otherwise?
Well, I mean, the one fortunate thing that I'm grateful for about this whole thing of having to be isolated is it hasn't really ruined my morning routine of immediately getting out of bed and doing 2,000 push-ups while staring at Ashton's face.
It's good. It's good to have some sort of stability.
Fortunately,
In life.
I mean, that was a really big, grounding technique that I used, and so I've been able to kind of stay in high spirits. And Graham, don't worry. I mean, I have a picture of you in my shower, so it's all good.
Perfect. That's good. Yeah, cleanliness is next to Gramliness.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, outside, it's actually really funny because having my girlfriend's 3-year-old and then my girlfriend, I'm having a baby here in a few weeks actually. So being at home with a 3-year-old who can't leave the house and then a pregnant girlfriend who then, can't leave the house either, we've been making trips because I go there back to over to the center since JP's gone right now. I've been just going to the center every day or every other day and just run pumps, check things. And then, so we've been able sometimes to make a little road trip out there and just like a complete different change of scene. So there's been actually some pretty fun times that me and my girlfriend's daughter are like rolling out in the back hallway with the lights off and a little flashlight while like going into the different rooms and while I of course turn pumps on and stuff. And so that's been like a fun little activity to create a little sanity within having to be like stuck in the confines of a home. But yeah, the other thing, I mean, that I never thought that I would be doing is busting out some sourdough bread, sourdough pancakes, sourdough pillows, sourdough, you name it. And I'm busting things out with sourdough right now. So that's been like a really
when you have time.
interesting little addition. Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
Have you ever made bread before, or is this like a new endeavor for you?
Completely new, man. Completely new. I mean, I warmed things up with a nice like Turkish loaf, Turkish bread, and turned it awesome. So I had this like ridiculous level of self-esteem going into actually making a full sourdough, which I mean didn't turn out terrible, but definitely humbled me slightly. But yeah, never made bread or anything before, and I'm loving it. It's wicked.
Cool. How is making bread similar to running a float tank center, would you say?
Well, first off, lots of sourdough in both of those. Not sure how you guys run your tanks, but
I'd like to have ours rise. Yeah.
yeah. We actually like to cultivate the bacteria in our float tanks. Yeah, I don't know. It's that's a really good question.
Thank you.
I don't
Probably
think it's a really good question.
I think that was a great question.
The recipe, following the recipe really well, following that float tank recipe.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Not adding too much salt.
Yeah.
Not adding not enough salt.
Keeping it at just the right temperature.
Yeah, and then of course tasting things as you're going through the process. Things as well. And then of course just laying on the floor, staring at the ceiling is also an important factor in both of those.
Nice.
Again, I'm not sure if you guys finished float sets with that.
Awesome.
Well, I feel like we got a lot of tips out there for people today. You know, a lot of really valuable.
Oh, I had one more practical question for you, because I feel like we're on the weird side of this. What are you doing? Are your tanks like operational? Like, could you hop in them and float in them right now, or like have you lowered the temperatures and like put more water in there to dilute them a little bit, or how are you keeping your tanks?
Yeah, we just kept like a really good eye. Like fortunately, like with soundproofing and insulation that accompanies that, we've just kept like 5 of the 6 tanks a little bit higher dilution with lowered water, but then we'll have 1 tank that we actually just have complete normal. Or I think we have 2 right now that are just completely normal, so like staff and ourselves can come in and use them on whatever days, and people just kind of keep in touch with what they're doing. But for the most part, we've lowered them a little bit, but the room stays so warm, especially if we turn some of the fans down in the room, and so we haven't found it as big of a thing. And then the rest of the space is pretty isolated, so we've just lowered the temperature substantially, which I think is going to be the bigger piece of it, because I think a lot of our spend for utilities is our front lobby area, which is like 20-foot ceiling, and the ceiling isn't really well insulated, so heat just escapes like crazy.
And it's still pretty cold up there this time of year, right?
It is, which again comes up with being cooped up at home, and you literally can't take kids out when it's -20, or I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I think like -4 or 5 or something like that. So today was a bit warmer, which is good for heat at the center, but also to try to get outside a little bit. But yeah, we just have most of our tanks just on like hardcore sleep mode, and then we have 2 of them that are active for float, so that we can go in there.
Yeah, that sounds smart. We just have all of ours active.
Girlfriend.
I don't know why we're considering maybe diluting them or something,
Just
but
throwing them away. Something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm beginning to realize we're like the outliers here in terms of what we're doing with our
Let's see
tanks.
when our next utility bill comes.
That's true. It's a
What
good
are you
test to
guys
actually see what.
Doing?
What was it?
What are you guys doing?
We're just they're up and running.
Like,
we got people
if we
coming
got the
in every
order,
day, floating. We're fully open.
Yeah,
and
we're
operational.
kind of just running a regular float center life over here.
We're having parties in our lobby.
And we have it's more like 2 people per tank. There's just too much demand,
Just trying to jam everybody as close to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, packing in there,
If they can't feel somebody else's breath on their face, you're doing it wrong. Yeah.
No, but our tanks are just we're just keeping them like normal, so they're at regular operating temperature. We go in twice a day to kind of run pumps and pet them, and
Yep.
So,
I mean,
we'll
I think I've heard from a few people that they've they've like made massive adjustments in terms of temperature and stuff, which like ours, you could turn them all back up within an hour if you really wanted to heat things up a little bit, but it's just a little bit lower. And then funny story though, what we didn't realize is like, of course, the first week of this happening was probably the craziest part of it, just trying to find balance and everything with what was going on. And so we didn't really anticipate that we closed on Monday, and then Tuesday was our maintenance day, and then a few crazy things, just personal life and the business and everything, kind of kept us away from the center for a few days. And even though we had somebody go in and run pumps for us, we didn't really bring it into our mind that Tuesday was our maintenance where we'll fill up with water and stuff. So we had, later in the week, one of our staff was like, we did lay everybody off, but we just kept one person on to kind of help out once in a while. But they mentioned like one of the tanks was making some like just gruesome noises. And I was like, well, you turned it off, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, immediately. Because that could have been brutal. But yeah, I guess all that happened was that by the time the end of the week happened, and since we didn't refill all the tanks right away on the Tuesday, one of the tanks started to crystallize, and the pump was just like completely locked up.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, we just ended up cranking up the temperature a bit, filling it with tons of water, and then just left it overnight when we cranked the room temperature up as well as the float tank. And then I went the next day, ran the pump, and then everything was perfect. So I was absolutely terrified that within the first week we just blew apart one of our pumps, which would have just been not a great feeling. So.
That's cool. I don't think I've ever heard of someone dissolving their salt without actually taking their pump apart. Or just removing.
Oh yeah,
pump.
I was completely confident that I was going to be having to take the pump apart. But just the way that the rooms and stuff are set up, we were able to like really heat the room up like really, really high. So that was either enough. And then of course the water, like the extra water that we had in the tank, I think just slowly seeped its way in.
Yeah.
But and I also don't know like the exact amount that it was frozen up with salt. It was just definitely cavitating when she was running the pump. So either way, it's fine. I floated it.
It's all cool. Well, that's a good tip, I guess. Yeah, just getting really hot rooms can help.
Yeah, Matt Smith's hot rooms is what we're gonna call this episode.
Hot room. Hot room.
Just goes to show, if you get your room hot enough, you really don't need anything else. Like you probably don't even need heaters in the tanks, you know.
No, we sometimes just double it up as a sauna too, as well.
Good tip.
It works fantastic.
Cool. Any last words for all of your rabid Matt Smith fans out there who are tuning in, watching live right now?
For my Macklemore fans.
All your Macklemore fans.
Yeah. If you guys need a really good sourdough recipe, definitely look elsewhere.
Yeah. Can you post it up in the show notes? Post it up in this video after you're done.
Oh yeah, and I'll completely take credit for it.
Good.
Because I of course made it up with all my.
All right, I'm holding you to that.
All right, dude.
All right, thanks, Matt.
Yeah, good talking with you, man.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh god, it's like you'd never shut up, you know? Like, it's just like, come on, we gotta wind this thing down.
Yeah,
like,
say whatever we
want. Cool, Matt Smith, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow with another person on the phone.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
We'll have fun. Our guest will, survive. And in the meantime, stay sane.
Who's it gonna be?
Be safe.
It's a big surprise.
And see you all tomorrow.
Yeah. Have a good one.